Hi guys. If you've never been to our channel before, welcome to our channel. We do daily vlogs and with my family. We do family daily vlogs. Anyway, so today I'm actually gonna do something different. I'm doing a TMI Mommy tag. I think I got it right. And this is a collaboration with other YouTubers. Check the link below for a playlist with everybody who's doing this project. I'm going to be answering 50 questions. The first one is, how many kids do you have? I had 3, girl, boy. How old are they now? 8, 3, and 1. Were they planned or unplanned? The first one was unplanned, second and third they were planned. How old were you when you got pregnant with all your kids? With the first one I was 23, going to 24. Second one I was 29. No, I was 28, going into 29. And the last one I was 30. Yeah. Have you ever struggled with infertility? No. Tell me where and how you found out you were pregnant with each of your kids. With the first one, I was at my job. I have a part-time job at the time, and that morning I have bought a pregnancy test because I was thinking that I might be pregnant. So during my lunch break, I took the pregnancy test and came out positive. With the other two, it happened early in the morning. After I woke up, I went to the bathroom and I took the pregnancy test. What was your husband's reaction? With the first one, he was so scared. It was our first baby, not planned. He was freaking out all day for a couple of years. The other two, he was a little bit more relaxed, but still, it's nerve-wracking. What were your first thoughts and feeling about oncoming motherhood? I always want to be a mom, so when I found out I was pregnant, even though I wasn't planning, I was very excited and looking forward to it. How do you tell your family? What were the reaction? For the first time, I told my mother over the phone, and she was so excited. She said she knew it. And with the other 2 times, she was also very happy about it. Do you have an easy or hard pregnancy? For the first one, there were a little bit of complication with her heart rate, so it wasn't as easy because I needed to go to the hospital every week to get checked on her heart. But other than that, it was mostly smooth, and with the other pregnancy too. What was your weird craving you ever had? I don't think I ever had a crazy craving. I just will eat a lot of stuff, like anything, like ice cream and all that stuff, all that good stuff. What was the hardest part of being pregnant? For me, I think, especially towards the 2 last pregnancy, the hardest part was, since I was working full time, to get to work every day, like getting on the train. Living here in New York City, I had to take the train every day, and it was just like very difficult, especially the first 3 months when you don't look pregnant, but then you still get really sick, motion sickness and all that. Train ride was like nightmare. Did you take any maternity or belly pictures? With the first time I took like professional, I did like one professional shoot, but then with the other 2 I just took a lot of pictures that I put on Facebook and stuff like that. Do you do a nursery? What was her theme? With the first one I did nursery, it was like a butterfly and it was pink and purple. And the other one, I didn't do anything for the other 2. How do you come up with your children's name? With the first one, I always knew I wanted Lynn for her middle name, and then I was thinking Amy Lynn for full name, but my husband didn't like it, so we end up with choosing Emmy Lynn, which is like sort of like Irma Lynn. For the second one, it was his turn to choose a name, so we look up together what names we like, and he suggested Allison. We actually got inspired from the actress from How I Met Your Mother, Allison Hannigan. Paige, actually, her middle name, it was from the show called Charm. I really like that name. Yeah, so that's how we got her name. And then Lucas, that was a name that Angel suggested a while back if we had a boy. And then it just, when we have his middle name Ivan, it's the same middle name as Do you have a baby shower? Tell me about it. For the first time, I have my mother and my mother-in-law organized this huge baby shower. For the other two, I have baby showers at work. All of them were surprise shower. The only one that I feel that I didn't know was happening until just like maybe an hour before it happened was the last one with Lucas at work. But they even messed that up because I went to the room and there were some balloons in there, and I realized that that's what they were doing. You ever feel prepared or ready to have a baby? No. I feel like that's a misconception. People think that you're gonna feel ready, but you're never ready. Even when you've done it before, you're never ready because there's so many things that can happen with pregnancy, birth, everything that you can just not be. You're never gonna feel prepared. And financially, that's totally different story too. So no, you're never gonna be ready. You just have to do it. Any funny pregnancy stories? I remember one time when I was pregnant with Emmy, we went out to eat with one of our friends, Danny, and I remember that we were eating at the restaurant, and he grabbed some of my food, and I was really mad at him because of that. I think if I wasn't pregnant, I would have not gotten so mad, but I think I even hit him because I was so mad. What kind of birth do you have? Vaginal C-section. The first one was a C-section and then vaginal birth at the hospital, no medication, and the third one was a home birth, no medication. Where were you when you were into labor? And if you have a C-section, where they're scheduled. For the first one, my water broke, I went to the hospital. 12 plus hours later, I ended up having a C-section because of complications. Then with the other two, I labored at home. And for Ali, which was the first feedback, I went to the hospital and gave birth there. Do you have pain relief during labor, or if you have a C-section, how were you feeling before going into the operation room? When I had my C-section, I was devastated because I didn't want to have a C-section and I wanted to have a natural birth. But after all the complications I was having, they say it was better to have a C-section. I was really nervous. I hated it. She was born 6:20 p.m. I didn't get to actually hold her and be with her until the next day, 11 in the morning. That's more than 12 hours without seeing your newborn baby. I didn't have any epidural or anything like that for the other birth. How long were you in labor, or if you have a C-section, how long were you in the operating room? For every kid I labored for hours, it probably was like 12 hours, but it was not the whole time active labor. It was, very mild at the beginning, and then I got to active. Once I get to like active labor, it might have been like maybe 7-hour talk, I'll say. The operation room, I might have been there for 2 hours or so. How do your husband or partner handle the delivery room? With the first one, he was very scared. He didn't know what he was doing, so he wasn't as supportive as he can be. But with the other two, we did a lot of research together, and it was a wonderful experience for both of us to go through the birthing process. And he was very proud of me and how everything came out. Besides your husband, was anybody else with you? For the first birth, I had family coming in and out the labor room. In the operation room, it was just him. For the feedback, I have my doula with me. And for the last birth, I have the doula, midwife, and the midwife assistant. Were there any complications during labor or your C-section? For the first one, the complication was her heart rate was a little irregular, so that was my reason why they want to do a C-section. For the second one, there was no complication. Then for the last one, home birth, we actually have a little bit of a scare where he got stuck coming out the birth canal when his head was out, but his shoulders were too big, so he didn't come out. And he was there for maybe like a minute or so, maybe 90 seconds. Then the midwife, she was able to get him out. Like, she had to turn him and to get him out. It was a little bit scary, but everything turned out okay. He didn't cry right away, so she had to like massage him a little bit. And he was a little purple, but then, after she did that, he was good. He was a great baby. He was wonderful. Describe seeing your baby for the first time in 3 words. Best thing ever. I love being a mother. I love my kids, and seeing them for the first time was like a dream come true. Another three were there. Baby stats, weight, length, time, and birth and date of birth. The first one was 8 pounds, 10 ounces. Second, 9 pounds, 1 ounce. And the last one, home birth, 10 pounds, 5 ounces. Yeah. The first one was born in June 2008. The second one was December 2012. The last one, he was born in May 2015. How long were you in the hospital? With the first one, I was there from Sunday to Thursday. The second one, I believe, was 2 nights. And for the last one, I was home. Do anyone visit you in the hospital? Yes, I have family and some friends visit. Was the first day at home with your newborn harder or easier than expected? For the first day at home was hard for the first child. She was in NICU for 10 days, then we went home. She was used to be bottle fed. We started to establish breastfeeding, so it was a little bit more difficult. But then with the second one, it was a lot easier, and then the last one was a home birth. What was the recovery like for you? For the first one was a C-section, for definitely the harder one to recover from, especially emotionally. The other two was a lot better. Do you ever experience postpartum depression? I have not been officially diagnosed with postpartum depression, but I do believe that I might have it at some degree, because I get really depressed within the first year of having a baby. Do you breastfeed or bottle feed? I breastfed for all three of them. At the beginning, for the first one, they had to supplement with formula for the time that she was in the NICU. She was there for 10 days. What advice would you give a new mom for dealing with recovery after birth? Ask for help, not to do it all by yourself, and to just try to be surrounded by people who you love, so that way you don't feel lonely and helpless. What's the one baby item you can live without? I would say wipes. Did the number of kids you have changed after you had the first? How many do you want now, or are you done? We are done now. I think we are anyway. I wanted to have 4, 2 and 2, but after having the first one, going through a C-section, I was traumatized and I wasn't sure if I want to have more kids. But as she got older, I want her to have a brother or sister. So we tried for another one, and since I have a very special birth with the second baby, wanted it to do it again. I was like, I want to do this again. This was so cool. So we tried for the boy, and we had a boy, and I think we're done. What's the most rewarding part about being a mom? You have this relationship with this child that doesn't matter how imperfect you are, they love you, and they just love you unconditionally. So I think that's the most rewarding part, just the love that they give you. Did you think your kid looked more like you or that? They definitely look like him when they born, and they start looking like me a little bit as they get older. Did you miss anything from the life before kids? I like having kids, so I don't really miss anything. Let's play pretend. The house is clean. The kids are asleep for the night. You have 1 hour to yourself. What will you do? Watch YouTube videos, eat ice cream, and probably work on my vlogs. Tell a funny guess what my kid did story. A few weeks ago, we had some friends over, and we had an air bed outside in the living room. Luke could climb up on top of the bed that was just pretty high, and then he climbed up on top of the heater that is by the window, and he just stand there and he was like, yeah, looking out. That was funny but scary at the same time. What is the one thing that you never had that you want your kids to have? So as a kid, I never had my brothers and sisters living with it. They were from my father's side, so they were with their side of the family. And I was raised like an only child. But for my kids to have siblings to play with every day, that's the one thing that I want for them that I never had. What do you struggle with most about motherhood? Well, I'm a planner. I'm impatient. So whenever things don't go my way, whenever things take too long, I get very impatient. That's probably the things I struggle the most, because when you have kids, there's no plan. When you have kids, patience needs to be there. What is the worst children TV show? Brax. How has motherhood changed you as a person? It had really helped me to grow as the planner that I am. I let go of things, and in fact, I don't plan as much because I know that it's not gonna be as I wanted it to be. So I have more freedom to just go with the flow, and at the end, I'm happier because I'm not stressing about my plan. So win-win. Biggest pet peeve about being a parent? I think the fact that you don't have as much privacy. Like when I'm home, I can, if I go to the bathroom, they're there knocking on the door. They want something, they need something, they always there. Biggest worry about your kids' future. Biggest worry that they won't turn to be the people that I want them to be as adult. I want them to be people that will be respectful, caring, compassionate, loving. So if they're not that, I would just be devastated. If you never had kids, where do you think you would be right now? Probably in a corner crying. I always want to have kids. That was my ultimate goal in life, to have kids. And the fact that if I didn't have kids and I'm at this stage of my life without kids, I would feel like, what am I here for? So I will be crying. What would you describe your parenting style? I think I have a balance between being strict and being more relaxed. I'm very strict about homework, making sure that you eat healthy, making sure you follow the rules, because I follow rules. But then I'm relaxed, or like sometimes I let things go because it's just too much to stress about. Thank you so much for watching and sitting through all these questions, and please check the link down below for the playlist so you can see how other mother answered the TMI Mommy tag. And also make sure to check out my channel. If you're new here, subscribe if you like what you see. Bye. Make sure to thumbs up this video.